Just ahead on CTV News.
The DMV is gearing up for a significant snowfall this weekend, and the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation wants residents of Prince George's County to be ready for any and everything.
And
after weeks of anticipation, Governor Wes Moore finally unveils his proposed budget. I'm Katara Jones in Annapolis. I'll tell you what's inside his proposed plan coming up on CTV News.
And PGCPS Interim Superintendent discusses this school year's priorities at the annual State of the Schools address. These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for January 21st. I'm Jonathan Hunter.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us.
At the top of our news tonight, the DMV region is expecting some heavy snow this weekend, but how much will we get?
And being storm ready is top priority for Prince George's County officials. CTV's Brandon Williams has more on how you can prepare for the winter weekend.
The DMV is gearing up for a significant snowfall this weekend, and the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation wants residents of Prince George's County to be ready for any and everything.
So make those provisions now where there's a little bit of time and start making a plan.
Chief of Communications for DPWT, Angela Roussan, believes grabbing essentials is a part of that plan to help county residents get ready for the storm ahead.
They can have some salt on hand. If they don't have salt, you can also use sand. So those things are good. You want to make sure that you have water, fuel, medicine, just some basics. So if you're in the house for 2 or 3 days, you can maintain without having to get on the roads.
Last winter, when snow came through the D.C. region, the plow response in the county fell short of expectations, but this year is expected to be different.
Our operations are 24/7 until the snow is cleared. So if residents stay off the road, it gives our crews more space to do a great job for them. We have de-icing solution that we're going to be using. We have several protocols in place that we're going to be deploying. So stay inside where it's warm and cozy and give us a chance to do our work and clear the streets.
To ensure a good job is done, county officials encourage residents to move their cars to the even side of their street, creating a clearer and smoother pathway for snow removal.
We understand everyone does not have a driveway. So if those folks can just move their cars to the street on the even side. So if we have all cars on one side of the street, the even side, that at least gives our tow trucks one lane.
While it is still unclear how much accumulation the DMV and Prince George's County will be getting, residents are encouraged to be in their homes by Saturday evening. Reporting in Largo, I'm Brandon Williams, CTV News.
All right, thanks, Brandon, for that report. Governor Wes Moore's long-awaited proposed budget has finally been revealed today.
That's right. CTV's Katara Jones is inside the State House in Annapolis and unpacks all the details.
That's right. Governor Wes Moore unveiled his fiscal year 2027 operating budget, and it has a whopping $70.8 billion price tag. Now, that budget includes increases in education and law enforcement, but it also includes almost $900 million in cuts.
This is the 4th year in a row that we are here to present a balanced budget.
That operating budget is nearly $71 billion, and it tackles the biggest concern, the more than $1 billion budget deficit. Moore says his proposed budget will get Maryland out of the red while not raising taxes and fees on residents.
This budget maintains a very healthy 8% in the rainy day fund. This budget maintains a minimum cash balance of over $100 million. This budget shows that we can spend wisely and also protect our values.
The proposed plan gives $124 million to local law enforcement and more than $10 billion to public education, but there will still be cuts in other areas.
When you had capital that was going towards, if you had something that was going to go towards the capital budget, and it is no longer going to go towards the capital budget, it's now going to go something else. That is a cut. And really what this is focusing on, it's prioritization. That we said we were going to spend our budget on things that were both effective and things that were sustainable.
There's $322 million in the capital budget, right, that is being used for the general fund. So those are future projects that we are not going to be spending money on. We are instead using it for general fund relief, right? There is, if you look through the budget books, we have cuts ranging from, I want to say it's 40,000 at our lowest to up to that 322 million.
Moore didn't hold back in blaming the budget shortfall on the Trump administration's actions last year, like passing the One Big Beautiful Bill and cutting thousands of federal jobs. Maryland, the hardest hit state, lost 25,000 federal jobs.
So one thing that you've seen with this is that we have focused on two basic fundamentals: control the spend within the state and increase our top line by making sure we have higher revenues. In Maryland, we're going to control the things that we can control. I can't control the erratic behavior from the Trump-Vance administration.
Moore's budget proposal that he introduced today is the last of his term, but he is seeking re-election this November. Katera Jones, CTV News.
And now that Moore has introduced his proposed budget, lawmakers in the Maryland General Assembly will have to work together to approve it.
Well, last night, Interim Superintendent Dr. Sean Joseph, on behalf of Prince George's County Public Schools, held his 2026 State of the Schools address in the brand new Suitland High School. He broke down his top priorities for the school district, along with what he's accomplished in his role thus far. Take a look. The future of Prince George's County schools was on full display Tuesday night. Hundreds of educators, administrators, and county leaders filled the space ahead of the 2026 State of the Schools address, the first of its kind in a decade. The event kicked off with a series of receptions, all set inside the newly built Suitland High School. Assembled leaders say of where the district is headed.
When the new school is built and open, it will be the premier high school, not just in the county, not just in the state, but in the entire nation. And that's what our kids deserve.
The doors to the new Suitland High School are expected to open to students in just 2 years.
Every dollar has to count, and so we need to make sure that we're getting a return on investment, because what we know is we just don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to continue to give each year.
Interim Superintendent Dr. Sean Joseph laid out a clear plan and the work still ahead.
We closed a $150 million gap without asking taxpayers for more. I know we can get an amen on that one.
Dr. Joseph also unveiled his strategic priorities for the district. At the top of that list is special education, school safety and security, professional development for teachers and staff, AI literacy in the classroom, and employee compensation.
Safety is a #1 priority in Prince George's County Public Schools. It should be in any school system in the country, but definitely in Prince George's County. Look, we've got to make sure that our kids and staff are safe, and AI technology helps us do that, but we also have people, so it's a combination of technology and people.
As Prince George's County looks toward the next school year and the next generation, leaders say the focus remains the same: student success, safety, and progress. And tomorrow, Dr. Joseph will give more details on the budget, along with an announcement of enrollment programs that might get cut. Stick with CTV News as we bring you those details. Meanwhile, we sat down with Dr. Donna Christie, president of the Prince George's County Educators Association, on her reaction to the State of the Schools address. Dr. Christie has been on the front lines fighting for higher pay for teachers, something the district says has helped fill teacher vacancies. Here's what she had to say about last night's address, along with what's to come with budget cuts.
Last night was good. I think it helps to start priming the pump for our budget request that's coming up, which I think was probably the intention, was to kind of let everyone know where we stand as a district and what is going to be necessary to move forward. We've been involved in a lot of the meetings. He has, for a while there, we were having weekly meetings with his cabinet and all of the union leaders, and so that we're not caught by surprise.
And Dr. Christie also spoke about AI literacy in schools and believes it will be a good asset.
The Office of the Public Defender rallied at Lawyers Mall in Annapolis today to outline their legislative priorities for the year. This session, they are hoping to pass bills that address inequalities when it comes to traffic stops and children being charged as adults. Advocates say many black communities are being over-policed. Looking at the data, black people make up a smaller percentage of the population, but are more likely to be pulled over by law enforcement. Plus, there's a push by the Public Defender's Office to reduce the types of charges that automatically move kids to adult court.
I want to echo the sentiments about this effort to ensure that we treat our youth like we love them. Yeah, like we anticipate them taking over for us in the future. Like we want to see them strive and succeed, and like we will never throw away any of the youth of our community. That is what this is about. That is why I support our efforts to ensure that we are not auto-charging young people.
The Office of the Public Defender's Office is pushing for a bill called Know Before They Knock. This would require Child Protective Services to let families know of their rights before they enter the home. Governor Moore's Redistricting Advisory Commission has voted on a map they would like to recommend. The 5-member panel voted behind closed doors to advance this congressional map concept. The recommended map would overhaul the state's 1st district, which is the state's only Republican district. People on both sides of the aisle have criticized the decision. Senate President Bill Ferguson says the map is objectively unconstitutional, while Republican House Minority Leader Jason Buckle accused the commission of partisan politics.
You're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Jonathan Hunter. Still to come, President Trump had a delay yesterday before his trip to Switzerland.
After the break, find out what problems have been troubling Air Force One. We'll be right back.
Well, let's get the show started, gentlemen. This moment right here it's all about, teaching and being able to show what we have as a knowledge, but also just to have those great conversations and to keep the movement forward, man.
Because it is so many other things that go into place that is judging this, our fashion, our style, the social media, all these things are in place. So you really have to be one within.
Because as men, we're so used to, you just gotta thug it out. You just gotta keep it going. You just gotta thug it out.
And the man always was carrying a purse, but it looked like a woman's purse. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. He didn't need his woman carrying anything heavy.
And for black men, we already know the struggles that we have. When we begin to operate this from a masculinity perspective, we want people to perceive us being confident, being a king, being a protector.
The Mentality, only on CTV.
Welcome back. Maryland Governor Wes Moore announced new legislation on Tuesday called the Protection from Predatory Pricing Act, which prohibits dynamic pricing and the use of surveillance data to charge consumers more than others for the same product. The retail industry recently adopted electronic shelf labels that allow grocery stores to change prices instantly. Several major retailers are using this new tech to cut back on manually updating price tags. Senate President Bill Ferguson believes Marylanders deserve fairness and transparency.
When the seller is changing the price based on who it is, based on unclear information, based on personal data that's been siphoned off from every possible avenue you can imagine, and the price changes by the time you walk in the door to when you put that loaf of bread on the counter, that is what is called a failed marketplace. And it's what's happening where consumers are being taken advantage of too often. And so what we're saying here in the state of Maryland is that what we support is fair competition, where buyers and sellers have accurate information.
A federal appeals court upheld Maryland's law that bans guns in sensitive places such as schools and public parks. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals says the law prohibiting guns in sensitive places is in fact constitutional. The court did rule, however, the sensitive place exception did not apply to private property open to the public. The ruling comes after gun rights advocates challenged the law on the basis of the Second Amendment.
A Temple Hills man has pled guilty to 2 counts of transporting child sexual abuse materials. According to court documents, 32-year-old Marcus Hunt, a previously registered sex offender, admitted to owning a Dropbox account with 20 files of child sexual abuse materials. Maryland State Police received 2 cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, reporting the account was uploading more files. Hunt is expected to face 5 years in prison for each count. His sentencing is scheduled for April 29th.
A former congressional staffer is charged with stealing 240 government cell phones. 43-year-old Christopher Sutherland was arrested earlier this month and charged with stealing cell phones worth more than $150,000. Sutherland was a system administrator for the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure and had the power to order the devices for the staff members of the committee. He allegedly sold more than 200 of the cell phones to a local pawn shop. And it was a scary scene at the county's Wayne K. Curry Administration Building this morning. Multiple people were evacuated and both county and police and firefighters were on the scene. According to first responders, they were initially called for reports of a fire, but it was actually an electrical accident. A contractor working on the site was shocked and rushed to the hospital while a group of people were stuck in the elevators. We hear more details from the Office of Public Safety.
The contractor who performed the initial work received minor burns, and he was treated and transported to a local hospital where he's being evaluated again. At this point, the Wayne K. Curry building is shut down for the remainder of the day. Our main priority, obviously, is to ensure that the folks who work here in the Wayne K. Curry building are safe when they return to work. Exactly when that time frame will be, but we'll keep you updated as we get more information. Everything just discussed is real time. We're still gathering information, and everything's being evaluated and investigated as we speak.
The building was closed for the rest of the day and could possibly be closed for the rest of the week.
Well, yesterday evening, President Donald Trump's airplane, Air Force One, returned to Joint Base Andrews about an hour after departing for Switzerland. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the decision to return was made after takeoff when the crew identified a minor electrical issue. Trump boarded another aircraft and continued on with his trip to the World Economic Forum in Davos shortly after midnight. The 2 planes currently used as Air Force One have been flying for nearly 4 decades.
It's the Social Security Administration versus the Department of Government Efficiency, and thousands of Americans' personal data is on the line. A union representing SSA filed a notice of correction to the record in the U.S. District Court claiming DOJ misused Social Security data on several occasions. Court documents reveal the DOJ team potentially exceeded their authority under a temporary restraining order issued by the court in March. They also show DOJ members used a third-party server to share data outside the SSA protocols. Still to come on CTV News, dogs, cats, rabbits, and turtles. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. We have our pet of the week.
That's right. After the break, find out which animal is looking for their forever home. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When it comes to the race for Maryland's next governor, former Governor Larry Hogan says he will not be running against Governor Wes Moore. In an article with the Baltimore Sun, Hogan said yesterday that he has no intention of running for office again. He feels the time is now to move forward and not look back. Hogan is calling on his fellow Republicans to invest in a new generation of candidates who are ready to step up.
Meanwhile, as the governor promised in his latest executive order, housing starts here. A first of its kind position in the state's housing and community development has now been filled. Meet Mr. Stephen Palmer. He will now serve as the state's first ever housing ombudsman in the agency's Division of Policy, Strategy, and Research. Palmer will increase the state's housing production by improving processes and cooperation between the government, industry partners, and community stakeholders.
The town of Upper Marlboro has recently appointed some familiar faces into higher positions of leadership. To your left is the new mayor, Charles Colbert. He was previously the town's commissioner back in 2022 and served as a council member afterwards. To your right is the new vice mayor, Derek Brooks. He also used to serve as the town's commissioner, worked for the county circuit court, and was a part-time employee at Prince George's Community College. They will both hold the positions until December of 2027.
And the Maryland Stadium Authority has announced its intent to acquire Laurel Park and redevelop it as a statewide thoroughbred training facility. The idea is to transform the Pimlico Race Course into a world-class horse training center and secure the future of Maryland's multi-billion-dollar horse racing industry. With more horses per square mile than any other state, the industry supports over 28,000 jobs and $1.2 billion in wages. The 151st Preakness Stakes will run at Laurel Park as scheduled on May 16th. Looking for a new best friend with a little pep in his step? Meet our pet of the week, Jester. This 6-year-old male, orange and white domestic short hair, has been waiting at the shelter since November 26th, and he's ready to steal the show.
True to his name, Jester has a charming personality. He may take a moment to warm up, but once he does, he'll have you wrapped around his paw. He enjoys quiet company, attention, and is always ready to turn everyday moments into a little cat comedy.
He was initially shy when he first came in, but he's definitely opened up. He's very sweet, loves to be a pet, and loves to be cuddled as well. He'd be a perfect fit for anybody looking for a good companion to keep him company.
So if you're looking for a feline who has a knack for making you smile, Jester and all his shelter friends are waiting to catch your heart.
You can call Animal Services at 301-780-7200. And remember, your next best friend is just one visit away. No joking required. And especially when it comes to stories like that, you can have some fun, but at the same time, realize that these pets, they really need homes.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't go away just yet. It's now time for our Wednesday sports page.
I hear we have more high school hoops highlights from the hardwood. What's going on, Simon?
Hey everybody, stay right there because coming right up, some exciting high school basketball matchups from last night. Stay tuned.
Live Squad, what's up? It's your girl Autumn Joy live. And guess what? You can catch my show every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. And then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. right here on CTV. We talk all things entertainment and fun. And I got some of the top celebrities coming to sit on my pink couch. So make sure you tap in. Grab those details now at our website, and I'll see you on CTV.
Okay, everyone, let's get into your Wednesday sports page. For our first story, we take a trip to Hyattsville as the Northwestern girls basketball team took the court for a Class 4A matchup versus Bladensburg. In the first quarter, the Lady Wildcats had some good moments like this steal, but they weren't able to find the bottom of the net, going scoreless in the quarter. And with the help of Annabelle Todd dropping baseline and finding the open man and Fada Tawo under the basket, Todd taking the ball from the Lady Wildcats and passing it to Chino Nairam Agonia for the easy lay-in, helped Blade end the quarter up 15-0 on Northwestern. In the second quarter, Northwestern continued to struggle with their shot, and because of this, they weren't able to score any points in this quarter either. The Lady Mustangs continued to run up the score, and this mid-range jumper made by Ta right in her defender's grill, Sahar Hashimi making this layup after the inbounds pass, and Agonia knocking down the triple, all helped their team go into halftime with a 32-0 lead over Northwestern. And Bladensburg cruised to victory in the end, beating Northwestern 48-6. Meantime, over in Riverdale Park, the Parkdale High School boys basketball team faced off against the defending state champs in Laurel. The Spartans started the game off well, and Akeem Oyekin finishing over the top of multiple Panthers defenders, Oyekin passing it to his brother Kareem on the fast break for the slam dunk, and Elijah Mahdi coming up with this steal and converting on the tough layup, helped Laurel jump out to a 11-5 lead over Parkdale. But Parkdale was able to keep the game close, and the team went into the second quarter only down 17-10 on Laurel. Now the Spartans were able to get out to a double-digit lead to begin the second quarter, leading by as much as 13 at one point. But guard Jeremy Zhang taking the ball coast to coast for the layup, and him crossing over his defender and lacing the triple right after helped cut into Laurel's lead. And the Panthers went into the half down 32-23 on Laurel. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, it was still a close game, with Laurel only up 49-45 to begin it, and the game was still nip and tuck through most of it. But with a little under 4 minutes left in the game, the Spartans locked in and went on a run. And Sean Sewell hitting this pull-up three in transition made the score 71-59 with a little over a minute to go. And that was the final nail in the coffin for Parkdale as they fell to Laurel in the end, 74-63. Moving on to more basketball news from around the county. On the girls' side, Crosson took down College Park Academy 44-34. CMIT North got blown out by Oxon Hill 44-19. And Frederick Douglass beat Surrattsville 69-48. Switching gears to the boys, Bowie won a close game against Wise 62-59. Northwestern got routed by Bladensburg 77-31. And Crosson beat College Park Academy 63-45. In other news, a Terps football player will get his chance to show off his skills on the big stage as offensive lineman Alan Haran has been selected to play in the 2026 American Bowl. This game is one of the nation's premier all-star showcases for student athletes. In the 2025 season, Haran was an All-Big Ten honorable mention at right tackle for Maryland. The Jamaican native played a vital role in anchoring an offensive line that only allowed 9 sacks this past season, which was the second fewest in the Big Ten. The 2026 American Bowl will take place tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And that wraps up your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Simon. Love those basketball highlights. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be mostly cloudy out with wind speeds up to 11 miles per hour. Tomorrow is going to be mostly sunny and 51 degrees. Friday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 40 and a low of 12. Saturday will be mostly cloudy, but as we mentioned earlier in the show, we have a 30 to 80% chance of snow.
And for our community calendar, did you know that while the U.S. was occupied with the War of 1812, many enslaved Black Marylanders seized the opportunity to seek their freedom? Well, tomorrow at the Marietta Historic Site, Dr. Kelly will discuss his archival research and tell key stories spanning the U.S., Canada, and the Caribbean. This event takes place from 6:30 to 8 p.m., but for more information, contact 301-464-5291.
Do you have a story to tell? You can reach out to our CTV News tip line.
Yep, give us a call at 301-386-4085, or you can send an email to ctvnews@pgctv.org. As always, we look forward to hearing from you.
And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.